some larger speculators, some swing traders, kind of holding or kind of adding to positions as price moves lower in anticipation of a potential market stay break to the downside. We don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen. All we know is we want to be ready. We're just trying to focus on good context here. The crude oil, look at this. The weekly, it's barcoding. We haven't moved in a month. Daily. That Saudi move hit prices pretty hard last night, but it doesn't change the fact that we're still in this
Today
area
is
of value.
9/16.
Our weekly kickoff low, 69.50 and 76 quarter, haven't changed in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. So I'm looking at this market saying the longer time frame is just holding pat. They're not changing positions. We're going to be using range-bound rules at those extremes. In other words, if we get an opportunity down to the weekly kickoff low, like we did last week, or if we can't maintain price and get some momentum to the downside, if a breakout fails, we're gonna fade that breakout, and we're gonna see the market relocate back to the high of last week, or even the high of the weekly kickoff high. So we've got new information in the fact that the Saudis have lowered their price for their Asian exports, and that certainly brought in some volume last night. Take a look at this on the 30-minute chart. So here's when the news came out, just an hour or so after the
Let's see if
market
this
opened,
works.
and we woke up some
Start
traders there,
stream.
right? It looks like we've got some pretty decent volume on this push to the downside. We've opened with a gap. It would appear that the opening range is the high of the regular trading hour session. So with the gap open and the opening range the high of the day, my thought or context or nuances would be saying to me, if that opening range remains the high of the session, then that's the best trade location. I might be looking for some continuation to the downside if that opening range remains the dead high of the day.
Let's see what we got going on.
Profiles yesterday,
My
and we got,
stream controls work.
and that would be Friday.
We got a 30-minute chart. Nope. Of course it's not right.
Down here, down around
It does.
70.
S&P 30.
This area right here just was rejected, and then
NASDAQ 30.
moved to the upside. So right around 70.
We got
This consolidation
TradeCaster
here,
screen.
consolidation here. We might find some stickiness down in that area. Now, just to briefly check out gold. Gold was a tempting opportunity this morning, and I'll show you why on the daily and on the 30-minute chart. I'm glad I didn't do anything
Cool
this morning
works.
before, but it was interesting. The weekly chart, upside digestion, is what I'm kind of calling this area of balance.
30-minute.
We put in a low, area of balance, overlapping area of balance. Upside digestion, again, is what I'm calling. We had that excess high about five weeks ago on Sunday that could have been the all-time high. Just going to keep that in mind for when price heads in that direction again. Here's the daily chart. So I've been looking for some sort of change, some sort of opportunity in bigger because I've been seeing that the longer time frame has been out of the market for a little while, and that has caused the weekly kickoff high to tighten up a little bit. Now we're testing the weekly kickoff low now, 2031. The overnight, the regular trading hour high is 2030.
Put some lo-fi.
Within 6 ticks of it, the opening range ended up not being the high of the session or the low of the session. It's traded both sides, which is why I'm glad I did not try and take that opening range trade. Take a look at the 30-minute. Here's what we're looking at. So overnight inventory short. Have we closed the gap? No, we have not.
Live on TradeCaster. Looking like it's working pretty good. YouTube live. We're good. Sweet. Quick breakdown of what I see. I got the overnight low here. We are at the overnight high and above it, so basically creating a new overnight high 5 minutes prior to open. I'm I'm gonna just wait and see what's going on. The 30-minute. If I got my 30-minute hold up for the Nasdaq here, the 30-minute would be. Is it pulling over now? No. Yeah, there we go. That's S&P. So the Nasdaq would be this one. We're breaking above and into yesterday's range, Friday's range. So we're gonna kind of wait and see what this 30-minute does. It's a pretty strong 30-minute candle, even though it's prior to the open. It's Monday. The liquidity is gonna come back in. So we're gonna see what that means here. So wait and see with the open. 2 minutes to the open.
Right. And remember, we only have the biggest and best names in the trading world on our show, so you're not going to find any other stream or prop for that matter. And coming this week, we've got some heavy hitters, and just want to let you know we got Deanna, Andre, Michael Patak waiting in the wings here for Fast Market. We're going to take a view, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, that's the one right there. Okay. My main screen is up. YouTube Tradecaster. If you see the link in the YouTube stream, if you click that link, create a new tab. If you click that link, create an account, free account. My live will always be free, at least for the time being, over there. Tradecaster is a new streaming platform I'm going to use starting next week. Today is just a test stream, making sure everything's working on both sides. It seems like it is, so it's cool. If you're looking at anything, comment on it, see what's going on. I don't know what this is. Yeah. Still pushing up for the pre-market session. So whenever it does this, I always look for a little bit of a pullback to open, but I don't know how far it's going to go. So I watch the opening range. Tradecaster. Let me get this up. For some reason the stream is not working on there. Is it done? That's weird. Oh, no, it's working. Okay, we're good. So currently still pushing up over 16,522. I'm really not sure as far as the zone is concerned for right this second. I'm not really looking for anything specific. The next level above I have is 16,559.50, which is that level there. That's my key kind of battleground level. This giant purple zone that you'll see here is my 2021 highs, all-time highs at that point. That was the base of the zone, and this was the top end of that zone, pretty much all-time highs at that point. So, and then here is a pretty significant point that has been retested. See if it'll retest again right now. So that's 16,559, and then this is just levels from the past week. So we're just gonna kind of watch. It's pretty strong right now. Link in the chat. That's currently the weekly market levels that I do every weekend, every Sunday. And this is linked to TradeCaster. If you go over there, that's my link to TradeCaster. I'll be streaming live every day, starting the 22nd of January. So this week I'm testing the stream over there, and today I'm just kind of looking, see how it works. If you go sign up, it's a free sign up, free trial, but then also if your free trial expires, you'll still get mine because I am a free streamer at the moment. Alrighty.
Michael, if you look on the 30-minute chart, moving just above us is that 200 session moving average.
16,548 coming in hot with the 30-minute. Let's see if I got the 30-minute up here. Oh, in the wrong thing. This 30-minute, you can see, this is kind of what I watch here as far as major structure points and all that. Normally I have my opening range, it's not showing out here. I don't know why.
Friday, so we're going to try and stay patient on that and come up with some basic rules to kind of keep that trade almost on a daily basis so we can kind of
back down to the one. Pretty strong. My delta is still pushing up. We had volume initially. It's kind of dying down a bit even on these first three candles, so I'm not really seeing a ton of volume at these levels. VWAP is still below us, and I'm gonna watch the tilt on Top Step. Not really seeing anything heavy tilt wise. 50-50s. The 30-minute got a rejection of that 16,548 level, but it's just sitting right on it. So we'll see if it closes. I am trading on my 100K Top Step funded account, starting at $0 balance today. So it's a fresh new start. Just finished earning it last week, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take a slow start. S&Ps are pushing up. NASDAQ still pushing, trying to reject that level there. I don't like when it does this. It's not really a huge push up for the first few minutes here. It doesn't give me any chance to get any pullbacks, and it also doesn't give me a chance to fade high or anything like that. So we're kind of just grinding right now, even in the very, very open of the market. Alrighty, what do we see here? I have to change this overnight highs. Today you have Bostic speaking at 12:30, but really no numbers. Tomorrow you got balance of trade, still just nothing really crazy. Nothing super important until we got CPI on Thursday, and then Friday's PPI. Number wise, nothing that's going to really be crazy market moving. Most of what's going to move today and tomorrow, and then the rest of the week is just the bigger players coming back in from vacation. So the NASDAQ doesn't have a crazy heavy tilt, but the S&P is looking like it has a little bit extra. Longer longs. For me, if you look at this delta, we've been steadily climbing. Price has been steadily climbing. Took a pause, and then delta took a pause. So we took a pause on price. Delta took a pause. Now we're trying to break this high. This hasn't really quite broke that high, right? The high of this candle. We did break the high here. We did not break the high here in delta. So no newer buying came in there. But I do need to see if this starts to press up and above. That means we're starting to get that good pressure. But we are pushing up, and we're not getting the same kind of delta. So that's kind of indicative to me a little bit of it's not crazy strong. I'm only going to be trading single contracts today. Don't think I'll be adding on. If I'm going to look for anything short, it's going to be up in this red or this yellow. It's going to depend on how it reacts and once it gets up there. Today's going to be a quicker stream. It's really a test to make sure everything works, get back in the groove of things, hopefully take a trade or two. Well, I would like to take one. That'd be nice. You can see this delta trying to push up again, and now we're pushing down. So we're getting some divergence on those two. So that could be useful to note. Trying to see the tilt on my phone. Probably set it up on here so I can see it. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Price is pushing higher, delta's pushing higher, so we're kind of just in a confluence right now. Again. I'm gonna reset up my Discord a little bit better so we can have some chat in here, and then also in the Discord I do have the PolicingPips Discord team going, so we have that. If you look at the 30-minute, since I'm not really making trades, right? That's the S&Ps, this is the NASDAQ. We're pushing up to the highs here from Friday. Friday's high is just going to get broken right about here, that 577 level. So nothing. S&P's is a little heavy long above this level here, and the NASDAQ I can't see yet. MNQs are long. If we're looking at the main screen here, I'll show you. We just broke through the 559 pretty easily, but we are tickling the top here of Friday's high, and then it's also Thursday's high zone, right? We got a lot of price action here in this area. Then you see all these wicks on the bottom side from Wednesday where price tried to break, and it just rejected it until we got into last week, to Thursday. So we're gonna wait and see what happens here. This is gonna be a key point, I think, still today. If it does just kind of press through a pressure, if we come back and retest it, if we get like a wick test, try and break back up above, we could probably take it into the highs. You really need to break into that 16,600 zone before you go long. Woke up a little late today. Wanted to get on here a bit earlier and start bugging some stuff out, but it's fine. 16,557. I don't have anything that's pressing me to trade. If you look at the S&Ps, S&Ps are actually pushing down. They're rejecting their 30-minute level. 30-minute level. You can see here, 47, 43, 25. It's been a pretty key level. This line has been here for a while. I didn't draw it because of this zone or anything here. So that zone is rejecting. But then you see on the NASDAQ, we're still pushing up above these highs, right? So there's a little bit of divergence between the two. S&Ps rejecting a level and pushing a bit lower. NASDAQs, we're holding above 15,548, 15,600, 5630. So if the S&Ps are the leader here, and this 30-minute candle closes below here, and we start to push down, I expect the NASDAQ to probably follow some. We're cleaning up a little bit of inventory up here from Friday, so who knows if we could get that. The S&Ps, like I said, here look like it's going to push down. So that's the kind of confidence I'm looking for. 30-minute time frame. We were pushing down all week last week. This could still be people trying to get in at some good pricing because we did clear out that bottom level. The bottom level, which I show as this purple zone here, right? We 1, 2, 3 times tried to come through it, built up some liquidity, and then we're right back to that key zone at 16,560, and then pushing above up to this high. This 692 is a swing high. If you get a chance, look through the pre-market weekly analysis thing that I posted in the chat. That'll tell you kind of how I think about what my levels are. I'm really avoiding trying to trade just to trade, so right now it's just kind of wait and see and watch. Trying to do it while streaming and whatnot is definitely different also, so. So we're entering up into that zone. 16,600 is a key level, right? 596, 613, anything in between there. If we do get the rejection, the delta is still pushing up pretty hard, so S&P just went right back above the 47, 43.25 level. My kids are screaming. Give me 1 minute. strong, just steady grind up. We're just grinding. 16596 coming in hot, so let's see if we can get a rejection off that. The opening range is this blue and red line here. The top of the opening range is the red line, and the bottom of the blue is the bottom of the opening range. The opening range is the first minute of trading here on the NASDAQ. The 30-minute candle is strong, just one straight up, basically bottom straight to the top. Here's the 30-minute. Show you that. That's the S&Ps. That's the NASDAQs. Look at that 30-minute candle, just straight up. We're gonna get into this liquidity zone that I see here at 600. Big whole round numbers. Let's see if we get any tilt on this. Still pushing up. Delta's still kind of strong. There's no divergence here. When you get this kind of slow grind up, a lot of times it just keeps going. So I'm not in a rush to try and to fade it. That is kind of my main strategy is fade extremes. Not quite a mean reversion, but I do like to rotate back to the other side of value areas. If we go into my chart here, go into main screen. This is the main screen. Nope, this is the main screen. Here we go. So we'll go to here, and the only thing I like to put on here, we'll put on the VWAP. We're back into the value area from last week. That's the weekly VWAP value. So rotation back to 16,715. That's last week's, end of the week value area high, and then I can get rid of that VWAP, and then I use the value areas. So here's our value areas from last week. We pushed right above it. We were in value, and the next top point of control from Wednesday, 16,608. And then the value area high there is 16,628. So that could be that new, 628 right here. That's that point of control value area that I have here. I just have it drawn up as a zone. The S&P tilt is actually short 53%. With an average price of 16,580. Well, that to me tells me it's going to try and keep pushing higher a little bit because people are trying to short these pops, which is indicative of the more people try to short these, and the market's going to keep moving that way. It's just going to grab up everybody trying to go short and push it higher and try and stop you out. That's what's happening here, right? Try and get shorts involved, and then they stop them out above the highs. It pushes up. Now they can try and get shorts up involved, maybe wick down 80, and then stop out the highs. That's usually what tilt tells me. If it's pushing up and then we're still seeing a higher short interest over the longs, and now we got the delta kind of just basing out here. It hasn't dipped like the market has dipped. So like I said, you might get a quick liquidity sweep below 77, below 80 to run the stops back above into 600 and then see. I like to wait around a key level like 600, 500, 16,000, anything that's psychological. I like to wait and see how price reacts on it, maybe once or twice, and then go, because the first move is usually the wrong move in my eyes. It's usually the get people involved and then stop them out. So usually that first move I'll try and fade after that. But if I could see that it's strong or anything like that, then I'll take the opposite and go with it. Let's see who this is. Two links in the chat. If you can click on them, let me know. Just type yes or no. Because when I type them in, I can't click them. They're just typed as words. So. Like I said before, Tradecaster is a trade platform for traders, by traders. I'm going to just show it on here since I'm not in any trade at the moment. Let's go to that screen, move my OBS over here. So this is what Tradecaster looks like. My stream is here. How you doing? That's the stream currently, right? It's a pretty nice platform, right? You got a full chat here, so we can chat, talk it out. I insert this chart. I thought that I could kind of change it to what I'm doing, but it's really, you know, while you're in there, you can type in whatever you're looking at and still have the trading up there, right? My stream, this is going to be a notepad where I type notes, you can type notes, the stream info. You know, I can move this around as I see fit, you know, come when everybody's starting to pour into Tradecaster over YouTube. I think it's going to be a great thing because it's a bunch of communities, right, all together. I can open that in a new tab. Here's all the other traders that are live right now. You got Dick, you got Stock Don. And then you just got lobbies here that, you know, you can click through everybody. It's pretty nice. I like it. So far, so good. I'm just want to try and push a lot of people over there because it is made for trading. There's a lot of good features. On the phone, you can do a little bit less. You're just gonna get the stream in the chat, but then you can kind of click around and do stuff like that. So you can log in. If you create a username, it's a free trial. I think they ask you to put in a credit card, but it's just a free trial. So you don't have to. I'm gonna pause it so it doesn't do that. But yeah, so it's a free trial. Enter your credit card. It doesn't charge you. You can, whatever. You might not even have to enter a card for the 7-day free trial. And then once you're in there and you have a username, you can come into my stream, subscribe it, and you could always, you know, pause the streams. It's a good little thing. You can subscribe in here, and you'll know when I go live. I'm free, so even after your trial expires, you can go free, right, and watch. And if you don't want to just watch me, you can watch any of these other free ones after your trial expires. If you want to keep watching some of these other guys that are pretty big time, they're paid, so you gotta subscribe and do your little monthly payment or a yearly payment. But for me, I'm gonna stay free for a bit, so I think it's pretty cool. Now back to the trading. I'm gonna look at the 30-minute. I'll go back to the 1. Back to the 1. Here we go. Tradecaster is pretty cool. I like it. It's going to be really cool. January 22nd is when I'm going to actually go live over there, you know, permanently. I'll still be on YouTube, but I'm going to try and focus most of my attention to all of the the chat and everything on Tradecaster, try to build the community over there and get everything going, because I think it's going to be a great thing for the trading community to have just traders, all different kinds, stocks, options, futures, forex. I'll be trading futures. I'm going to look to do. So I'm trading obviously with Top Step. I'm funded. I have my 100K. I'm looking to, once I have a few people over there, teach people how to pass the combines. We'll do a walkthrough 50K challenges, 100K challenges, because I have a little bit of a different strategy for my 50K over my 100Ks. It's not much different. It's the same strategy, but as far as sizing and what I want to do profit-wise daily, obviously it takes a little bit of a difference. But for the most part, we are going to do a bunch of different things as far as getting funded, day-to-day basis. Just come out here, have a routine, and get everybody going. So now we're getting that liquidity grab above 16.6, right? You're starting to get this candle's moving a bit faster. The 30-minute candle's going to close in 3 minutes. I like this. This is a very strong delta. We are looking at still 50-50, pretty much on the tilt. So this is a convincing move here. I'm not sure who's coming in, but there is size coming in here, and it's very whippy. I don't know if there's any news that just came out, but that 600 level was a key line in the sand. Let's see here. After a move like that, I'm going to expect some sort of sell. Hopefully it can set up for me, but everything is strong. It's usually days like today where I get run over, and then I get run over, and I get run over trying to short the top. So the only short that I'm going to take, if it just blows through here, I'm not taking it. I'm going to look to see if there's a long that I can take maybe. But like I said, I wait for that whip through that main level, that 600. So now we're going to push through. I said 627, right, is the top end. This is my zone. It's fluid, especially with NASDAQ. NASDAQ respects zones to a point, but the zones should be a little bit bigger. The 613 level is pretty important. So we're going to look and see. There's probably something here. I'll walk you through how I look at Delta too, right? So I have all these volume nodes on the side. This is a volume profile for the day. The yellow line is a point of control here, and these spikes are where more volume is over others. So I look for price to kind of hang out at these levels, but also be attracted to them. So the delta, right? Here is cumulative delta. What it tells me is people who are coming in as new buyers at certain levels, right? And you can see that this just pushed up. As it broke through that level, it's pushing up a pretty good power here. So this is a more convincing push through, right? You have your run up, delta is kind of slow. You base out at this key level, you're basing out here on delta, right? And you're getting a little bit of a divergence where you're starting to fade out, not as many buyers, right? So you're not getting as many buyers at these levels here, but down here, as it pushed lower and it came in here, then you're starting to feel that pressure coming up, and once you get back above it, you got that crack of delta. Big set of new buyers come in, break the highs, run the highs, and now we are still pushing higher, and we're still getting delta to push higher. So there's a congruence here. Nothing that I'm looking to get in front of at the moment. The tilt meter is still 51% short, so people are still trying to catch the top, and that's not going to be looking good for them at the moment, right? If you're getting short, and your average price is now creeping up 608, there is a good chance that you're going to get run over, right? What I say before, we ran up, started to pull back, shorts started to get involved, and we stopped them out. Then we pull back, and we run up, try and get the shorts involved, and then we stop them out above the high. And now this is different, right? This isn't like get the shorts involved. This is where price was thinking, we need to do something here. Is it a momentum day? Is it a pullback? And obviously we're looking at a momentum day. The 30-minute candle will close in a minute 30. Nope, I'm sorry, it closed, and now we are a minute 30 into this new one. We're getting a little bit of a pullback now on that 30. Something like this. What I look for is, it's, some people call it a double top. I don't think it's quite a double top. It is more of I am looking for it to do like a V-shaped pattern, but I want like a liquidity grab above this high and then a big wick, and then I want it to break back down into my zone and into here. That's where I usually look to take shorts, right? Because if I could catch that move, right, one contract, that move 780. I don't need to catch the very top tick. It would be nice, right? But if I can get that wick off here, right, we're gonna wick off the top at 634. If I can get that strong candle push, a delta divergence, there's a large volume candle here at 31, so there's a node there that it might want to get to come back, right? So if I can get entered in here with a risk to there, you risk 3 to make 7, you know, my normal risk 150 to 200. So if I could get that wick off and then maybe the body of the candle to close below here, you know, you look to get short and you risk the previous high. Still a little bit more risk than I want to take there, but it would be the only trade I take for the day. Let's see what this is. Nice. Alright, so we're here. If this is going to continue to be strong, we're not going to come back down and re-break this level here. Value area high currently is 605. This is not quite what I'm looking for, right? The 30-minute candle is pretty strong above here. This is not a big wick liquidity grab yet. There we go. There's some movement. A little bit of tickle in that candle there. Let's see if we can get this to pull back hard. I need a hard pullback back down below here, and that's the only way I can consider even thinking about getting short. The S&P longs are a little heavy at 68%, but they still have room to get up. So as the S&P is pushing, it's kind of carrying the NASDAQ along with it as well, right? Like if the S&Ps, if I go to that chart, all right, let's see if that's gonna show me. Yeah, the S&Ps, there you go, 30-minute, it's still pushing up. It still has room to get to this 47.58. The NASDAQ already got up there and broke this high. So it's not, it is leading in a sense where it's gonna go up here, but at the same time, if the S&P starts to fail here, the NASDAQ does have room down back to these highs, right? So if this fails, it rolls back to 47.43, I expect the NASDAQ to kind of come back down and push into that 48 level. Not necessarily as a leading indicator, but more so as it's just not as strong as the NASDAQ today. The NASDAQ has pushed up higher, faster, and above key levels. So that's why I'm looking at it that way. This is, right, my entry criteria didn't really get met there, right? I wanted this candle, the 904 candle, or even this next one to be more of a long tail. If it does still roll over, it still rolls over. The 631 level still has a high volume node there, so I'm gonna look to see the delta is still pushing higher. We're making new highs, so it's not like there's not buyers here. So it's still telling me do not try and pick the top here, right? That's really what I'm trying to do, is fade highs and rotate back down. Most of the time I try to rotate value areas or zones, but when they leave the opening range here at the very bottom and they keep running it up, and this is just a healthy buying pressure, and I don't have anything to enter with. So as much as it's a boring no trade, not very entertaining Monday, I'd rather keep my money, because these are the days that always get me in trouble every single time. I am well known in my own eyes for trying to short every level instead of waiting for that confluence, right? Because I'm like, all right, cool, this could be the high, I'll fade it because I like this zone, right? This is my zone, so I want to fade it back down to the opening range. And sometimes it does work, but that's usually with confluence, right? This confluence, there was none. Everything here said buy, right? Opening range, break of the open range, and we're up and running and running. And then any pullback, we stop out the shorts. Any pullback, we stop out the shorts. And each time we were getting negative delta on the Top Step indicator. If you go to Top Step TV, they have a scrolling bar across the top that shows you their open interest for their clients, right? If you have Top Step X as a platform, you can get it. But it keeps saying that the shorts, most of their clients are short at these highs. It's never usually the case if it's going to go short. If it's going to go short, the majority, mostly 65% plus 70%, that's when you're going to get a return, right? It's going to have to be to the same direction. If you're going to be at a key level and everybody at Top Step is going short, then it's probably going to go long, because they try to run over retail traders like me and you. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to say it's still confluent. Just a straight line up. If I was a bull or a momentum trader, then this is a good day, right? You could take that opening range breakout, and you're only risking, if you're only risking to the very bottom of the break, you're risking 350 on a single contract. And at no point today did anything tell me that you need to get out, right? Because even a short, this candle doesn't break below the low of this indecision candle. Even if you moved your stops up to here, you don't get stopped out. And then as you start to move up, you get a strong bullish breakout here. Let's say you're into moving your stops below this larger candle here, because if it breaks down, then that's when it's going to roll back over, and nope, so you're still in. You get a pullback, then you break back above the top, you're below this swing here, still not stopped out. And then if you think that this 1577 level, like I had as previous days high, is a key, and you move your stop up into this zone here, you're still not out, and you're basing and you're basing and you're basing, and you break out. And after you break out, I mean, you should still be pretty much, if you trail this properly, every swing low and push back above high, you'd still be in long from this breakout, right? And if you are, and your stops are currently, let's call them here, because if we break out above this high now, then maybe you move it to here, okay? You've already secured $2,100 on a single contract, right? Everything else after that is gravy, because you have pretty much up into that 16762 where it's something of note, right? It's so wild. I wish I was a little bit of a momentum trader in days like this, but I know what makes me money, and I know what's good for me. And a lot of times now, okay, I've seen this is how the day usually goes if I'm going to have a blow up day, right? This is how it goes. I see the breakout, I get to a key level, okay, I'm going to short this, and then it stops me out. Okay, great. That's one loss. And then I see, okay, we're at my key level again. It's going to be giving a rejection. I'm gonna short here. I'll short, maybe get tight with it, get to break even, get stopped out. Then I'm gonna try and, okay, that's a strong candle. Let me try and short it, and then I try and short that, and then you get stopped out above the high, right? And then you're like, okay, now I've been stopped out too many times trying to fade. I'm trying to fade. I'm gonna go long. And then you try to go long here, and boom, you're gonna get stopped out to the downside. It's just every time that's what happens to me. And those are blowout days. So for me, instead of chasing any of these moves, you just gotta wait and give time to build up and get to a level and slow down a bit, right? Because right now, we're just continuing to upside. We're gonna grind higher. There's still good buying going in on the delta. Nothing telling me fade this high, rotate over. Nothing's gonna rotate. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I would like to stream a bit longer. I do have to go to work early today, so we got a meeting. Still heavy tilt to the short side, so it still wants me to go long. A move like that, hey, all right. So there you go. If you would have decided, even though you probably shouldn't have, in hindsight, right, or even thinking based on this momentum strategy in a trail, if you want to learn how to trail a bit, you take the opening range breakout, right? Not only because it's an opening range break, but it's because you're at a key level, that 522, looking to maybe take it at least up to where I have my dotted line, right? So from 522 up to 560, that was a pretty decent, target there. So you go from 522 to 560, you're looking for a nice little return, but hey, since you got in for that little bit of a long, your trailing rules should play in, right? So instead of setting a hard target, 560, which is fine, you can do that too. You trail and you're up, and everything is telling you, nothing's telling you that it's going to short, right? We're below this, swing back down, below here, base out, break above, below 77, pull back, break out the highs, now you're down here. So really, stops should be in that 612 area. If you start to get to a point where you think momentum's slowing down, like how it kind of got here, right? It got super tight, not as many buyers coming in. Delta's kind of fizzling a bit. There could still be one more push up, come back down to this 18, 20 level and bounce. Value area high is always a nice spot to keep stops, because usually if it rotates back down and accepts into value, there's a chance it rotates at least back down to VWAP and down to the value area low, right? So you don't want to give back everything, So let's say you're here, you're sitting at 1,700 and change in profits on one contract. If you went to value area high, $1,600, right? That's a good trade. Trail. Instead of getting your first move to 60 or 715, you're doubling your profits by trailing properly. So trail it. If this breaks above the high, move your stops below this swing low here. You can do it on 5, you can do it on 30, you can do it on whatever time frame you're trading on. I don't trade momentum very frequently. Usually it has to be like a news day or something along those lines. So I have to have that long bias in me before I get in on a long trend. After last week, I thought it was a repair week, right? I wrote it up. If you look at the link in the bio, in the chat and in the bio, you can see that I wrote it up. I talked about, I'll move this over here so you can see it. This is what I put in the link. There we go. So I put this in link. Last week was a repair week. You can see this is all the daily candles all last week, and we sat right back down. I thought that because of this little zone here, we could push back and rotate back to the top of the purple zone. That's basically what I write. But also at the same time, I had a scenario where I thought if we hold below these levels, if we hold below that 560, or if, let's say, we'll call this now up into the 62s, then we can rotate back down. I needed to see this level break before we would look for a push lower. That was my hypothesis going into today. Obviously, we didn't get that, so we're breaking above. So I don't like to chase these moves because it wasn't part of my initial plan. If I fight my initial plan, that's when I blow up, and I'm trying my best to keep strong and not push myself, right? So we're looking to see, we got another volume candle here, right? So if you're going to be in your trails, if we're working on trailing a momentum trade here, like I said, which I haven't been doing, I haven't been trading momentum lately, you'd be down below 610. If this next candle here or something along those lines can break above, which we got a good delta here and didn't get a new high, so that kind of is showing me that we're losing that momentum a bit. It doesn't mean take a long or take a short. It just means that we are losing momentum, right? Because we made new highs on delta, we're getting new buyers, but price is not making new highs. And that's what we want to see. We want to see price make new highs with the delta moving. So now, right, there we go. It's not making new highs yet, but we're starting to get that buying pressure coming. If this delta here starts to break out, then you're knowing that this is still a momentum trade. This is still new buyers hitting the bid, getting in. We still haven't got that capitulatory wick off top high. This candle could be the one, but it's not me picking a top. I can't pick a top yet. And most of the time I'm not trying to pick tops. I'm just trying to get the bigger move to the downside before it continues back on. I'm trying to catch that piece there is really what I'm looking for when I'm looking to fade an extreme, unless we're gonna be in a balanced day. And if we're in a balanced day where we stay within our value area, I usually try to fade the value area high, back to the value area low. Or if we open at the dead low or the dead high of a overnight range, I usually look to fade the overnight range from one extreme to the other. Today we didn't do that. We broke out of the overnight high and we just kept going, right? We rallied. So this delta divergence here, right? We made a new high, did not make a new high. We have a key level below, so we're still looking to see if it's going to kind of crack down. This next move here could be the next false move, right? Get people involved in a direction and then rip it the other way. So if we rip higher and get a wick, right? If we wick up and come back down and then re-enter and then come back below here, it's a liquidity sweep trying to stop run. I sometimes get faked out by those as well, because liquidity sweep above, rollover, I look to get in short on that rollover, and then they'll just get the longs involved, stop them out, weak hands, and then stop out these shorts and then keep continuing higher. We got that delta pushing higher, still didn't break those highs. So there's still people hitting bids, but there's not as many people catching these long. So I want to see like a liquidity sweep up to the upside. And then maybe catch that fade if we could accept. So see our value area kind of push back up here. So now our value area is this point of control flipped from down here to up here. So that means there's a lot of people buying and selling up here. There's a good chance of at least a little bit of a pullback. If we're looking to get a pullback here to VWAP, would be nice. Just pull us. There is this key area here, right? That's where we were. And maybe looking to get short in a second here. Let's see. Except if my internet freezes, I don't want to do anything. Patience pays. Patience pays. $9.21. Like I said, there's no numbers come out that I'm seeing. Nothing today. Used car prices dropped 7%. That was at 9. Nothing. That was a single star impact. Maybe that's what moved a little bit of that wiggle there, but I don't think that's doing anything. If you click the link in the bio and in the chat, it's Tradecaster. Tradecaster.com is a new-ish. They've been around for a little bit, but now they're starting to add more traders, and I'll be streaming with them starting January 22nd. Click the link, make an account. My streams are going to be live, free every day, so you'll be able to get over there. It'll say create an account. You can pay for an account. You don't have to at the end of the trial. If you want to watch some of the other traders like Dekmar and some of the other paid rooms, then you got to pay for the subscription. You know, some point in the future, maybe way down the road, I will consider being a paid member. But right now, free here, free on YouTube. If you go over to the Tradecaster, just create a free account and start your trial. Like I said, the 22nd, I'll be streaming over there pretty much every day. Right now, this is a test day. Let's see how Monday goes and go from there. Still not seeing enough on this chart to want to go in either direction. It's just another run up, base out. Run up, base out. I look at the 1 minute because I've just been watching this for a long time, and there's nothing really I'm trying to force in. So I like having the point of control flip like that. It kind of tells me that there's an indecision and that maybe that sellers may come in, or if it flips down to the bottom, maybe buyers are going to come in short time frame. Turn this music off for a minute. Open the widget. My stream status is lagging apparently, so I'm gonna shut some of these things. See if that helps. Let me know if you're getting lag, because it's telling me that there's probably going to be some lag. I don't know why it's messing up right now. There we go. There, we're back. We're back, baby. Alrighty. I'm just trying to really kind of bug out everything for here and in for Tradecaster, because if I'm streaming in two spots, it is embedded from YouTube, so it is the same stream feed, but I just want to make sure everything works out for the 22nd, so everything is good to go. Alrighty. I got nothing on tilt. Honestly, the S&Ps is long, but it's a healthy long. The micros are short, 65%. That's the micros. It's different than the full NQs. No lag. Thank you, sir. Yeah, like I said, this price action is great if you're a momentum trader looking to catch a breakout of that, especially that opening range, breakout of the overnight high. If it leaves the overnight high behind, you know, off to the races it goes. If you're trailing, you're still trailing, you may have made a new high here. I think it's almost exactly equal, right? That's 1644. So, I mean, if you wanted to get tight with it and trail up here, below that, zone. The 20s do like to get hit, so a lot of times I like to stay just below the 20s. We're just getting really tight in this base. Like I said before, Delta pushed up. We didn't make new highs on that Delta push. We have still based out. We haven't came back down with the Delta, right? There's not losing any interest in these buying. So technically, the move next is probably still to the upside. And looking at my little bit of a longer time, I'm going to go 15-minute chart here. This is where we're at in the past. The recent past, looking left, looks like there's some liquidity up into the 655s. Then you have the base here of 622, right? So that was our zone from the other side of the current price. So this little area here, there's a big wick and then a sell-off, and that was on the 3rd. You could see some sellers get involved there, but also here there's a pretty good confluence of buyers, right? So this is just like a battleground zone, even though it doesn't seem like it on a 15-minute. It seems kind of smooth, right? Straight down, straight up. Then you got that wick and coming back down. But if you go into a shorter time frame, you start to see the battle really play out. It's not quite straight down, straight up. There's that rejection, that wick, and that push back down. Five-minute high base flag, whatever you want to call it, right? This could be the point of how I said before, where it's a liquidity grab, then push that back down, right? Because when you get a lot of this basing and with that wick from prior, there could be a short from that 50s still lingering there. I don't have the level 2s right now to see. I got to reset up my level 2 data where I can see some order flow here a bit better. That'll kind of give you a better tell also. So right now I'm going purely off Delta, volume over here, price action, and the tilt when I can. So now the S&Ps are pushing 60% longs. So that makes it a little bit interesting for them. I'll do that. I'll show you that chart. The 30-minute over there. 30-minute S&Ps still pushing to try and break above these highs. We may get some action here at 758 up into 760. So be mindful of that. If that cracks and breaks above, you might get some momentum, and then the NASDAQ carries on. If we fail it and rotate back down, like I said before, you might get that little bit of a follow by the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is here. I don't know, when I hit the NASDAQ button, it makes a nice little noise. Interesting. And then this is our full chart. Full chart. There's the push above. Delta's still kind of giving you that new high, right? So, but it's a wick. A lot of times, like I said, I like to fade this move here. On a normal day, I would take that risk and rotate it back down to here. At least if you get a break below here, that's the stop out, the stop run, liquidity sweep. If you do make a TradeCaster account today, go over there, subscribe to my channel, give me a little bit extra viewers come next 2 weeks from now, the 22nd. The more people that subscribe, the more people that see that other people subscribe, they'll be more likely to click that button and keep going. Because I'm just trying to get as many people as I can over there. Watch me over on TradeCaster. The more people, the merrier. I'm going to try and do, like I said, how to get funded, work on my funded accounts, keep everybody accountable, all the fun stuff. So click the link in the chat or in the bio for the Tradecaster link. I did go over it earlier. If you didn't see it, you can rewind the stream and you can see what Tradecaster is kind of all about. Like I said, I got to go to work early today, so I'm probably going to cut the stream at 10, especially if I don't catch a trade by then. I don't want to force anything in. Today was a good test to make sure that everything's working. Seems like Tradecaster's getting my feed and all that. Got nothing telling me to enter. Like this candle here, the nice thing is it kept me out. Like I said, I'm not in a momentum mood. I don't have any. It is a trend day, right? It clearly is a trend up day. After last week, we had plenty of selling go on. This was last week, right? Boom, selling, and now we're kind of just sitting at the bottom, and now we're trying to return back. So if we got if anything, a mean reversion back through to the middle here. We're here. How many ticks is this? It's 3,100, so 1,500-ish ticks. So we're getting close to the middle of that sell-off. So the top end of here could see some resistance at the 700 level, but I was talking about it at the 600, looking for some sort of manipulation or anything like that, and we didn't get anything there. So it's strong. If you are a momentum breakout trader, you took anything close to the opening range trade, that first minute breakout, you would still, based on any sort of trailing rules that I could think of, you would still be involved in this trade unless you trailed up super tight once you broke out above here. But you still caught a lot of this move, right? If you took that risk to the bottom and then just trail your stop, this is the 1 minute, right? A lot of times on the 1 minute, if you're trailing pullbacks on the 1 minute, you're going to get stopped out because most of the time these lows will get run and then go. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, it's way easier to not get stopped out following candles, right? If you're below, you entered at the base of this one, and then now you waited for this to close, and you're going to waited for this 30 minute to close, you move it to this stop, right? You're at 611. It's a very similar stop that you would have ended up being at. So now you've cracked the high. You would probably have had your trail down here. I mean, at this point, you're kind of just trying to ride the wave. You'd be on one contract. You'd be sitting 2,500 in profit on a single contract for the NASDAQ here. But realistically, locked in profit. If your stop is down here or here, you're sitting at $2,000 on one contract. So momentum days are great, especially if you have good, strict trailing rules and you can catch a big part of this move. But my weekly analysis, my write-up, told me a plan for my shorts. All these longs, for me, it's very hard to draw a plan and try and capitalize on because it doesn't, I did have it, right? Like I said, where I wanted to see the bottom of this sweep and then rotate back to the top of it. It's exactly what it did. However, I don't trust these first few minute moves, and then I didn't get a chance to any entries, right? If I get to this point already on this move and I'm trying to chase this long and get entered in here, it's not quite a momentum breakout. It is, right? It worked, but when I'm at a key zone like this and I'm going to get a breakout, I don't expect it to be the one that actually has the follow through. So I don't like to chase momentum because that's always what gets me in trouble. I also get in trouble trying to pick the highs, right? So if I don't have my confluence, if I don't have my, my delta, my levels, and my tilt ideas, then I can't take a trade. And if I'm on here on YouTube and I take 0 trades. Sucks for anybody watching, but at least I could talk myself through it, and you'll at least get some value out of hearing my thought process on why price is doing what it's doing at certain levels and what it may do moving forward, right? So the S&Ps, again, we're here. That's NASDAQ. The S&Ps is pushing to this high here, so you gotta wait for a reaction at 760. See what happens there, because that might push the NASDAQ back down. NASDAQ well beyond those highs, right? S&P, not. If we want to move this chart to be in the same area. NASDAQ, we broke that high pretty quick and pretty strong. S&Ps, we did not. And this is our 1 minute back here. NASDAQ tilt is pretty much exactly 50-50 with average entries around 16,640. So now you're getting a battleground. This is where people are saying 50-50 tilt. No direction is chosen. I'm thinking that this failed break this time. If we get the liquidity sweep now above 660, maybe we get that wick off candle. That could be my short trigger. But we have to see that. Like the last time when I said I wanted to get that wick, right? I didn't get a wick. Like this right here, this is where I was looking at it. I didn't get a wick. I got a strong full-bodied candle that told me that, all right, we're going to still kind of grind here, or at least maybe push to the upside again. I need something where there's like a liquidity grab, bang, and then a flush. And that's where I can catch at least a little bit of a move down. And then, you know, you hope that, all right, that's not necessarily top picking, but if you can get that liquidity sweep here, boom, it limits your risk on the short, right? So if I decided to go and enter and come back down, you know, you're risking 150, 200 to make. If you're only taking it down to this level, to 2-to-1, 3-to-1, then you know you maybe get that follow through down to 77. That's the kind of move I'm looking to catch. I'm not looking to get this whole thing. I'm a short time frame, especially with futures. I mean, you can't even really hold them overnight anyway. You can, but not with Top Step or any funding companies like that. So you want to catch the moves you want to catch and get out and get done. Carry on with your day. I don't have any trades to take. None of these gave me entries to go long. This would have been the only real one. And all my short ideas are not there yet either. Realistically, I want to see the S&P fall. Then I can take a trade on the NASDAQ. Continue building delta up, grinding higher. Base go, base go. Run, base go, run, base go. We're approaching the highs of my purple zone, 670. Nothing, 692 even. If you're wondering what this little dotted line is, that's just like the VWAP. That's 2 standard deviations off of the VWAP. So like I said, this would have been a nice entry for me to pick short if this would have done something where it was manipulative, right? If this is why I watch the 1 minute over a lot of the other candles. I do watch the 30, like you see. The reason I do these things is because I could see manipulation on the one. I could a lot better, liquidity sweeps and stuff like that. Yes, that is a candle right there that has some, it's got a wick off, it's there, but it didn't have that punch where it was a trustworthy point of where I was trying to catch some stops, trying to get people involved, and then slam it back down for a convincing move. To me, this says I went up and took some shorts, got them involved, or got some longs involved. Maybe I'll kind of dip down, get some shorts involved, stop them out, and still kind of grind a bit. I don't think I can get a convincing move off this. If it slams down now, great, I missed it. But to me, this was not a convincing wick. Not all wicks are created equal, and if you're just looking at them in the past, it's easy to say, yeah, okay, that was a wick. That's where it probably was a liquidity sweep. But if you didn't see the volume increase, you didn't see, this volume increased a bit, but not anything crazy. And the delta didn't diverge very much. It still went off on the top. It didn't get that whippy feel where it was trying to liquidity sweep people. Realistically, it could roll over at any time, and like I said, you could miss it. There's no, I'm not entering on that candle because it just didn't have the volume that convinced me otherwise. Something like these volume candles here, the 918, 919 candle, that was convincing. It had volume. These candles had volume. This is diminishing volume, increasing price. That's another tell, right? That it is looking to try and eventually slow down and reverse. This is where we're at. You could draw this anywhere you want, but realistically, we're right there. Diminishing volume, increasing prices. We are slowing down. That was a wick that got a little touchy. I think maybe we'll get one more push up. These were false breaks to the bottom. No volume on those false breaks. If we do get a crack of this, like I said, I think at least to here, maybe down, even lower, but not yet. Not yet. I want one more of these bad boys, maybe, but it's got to be a sweep. It's got to look and feel and have the volume of something that's going to get people involved. Tilt is 50-50 at 642. Average price. So S&P is 50-50, 54. We're just at a battleground. I think we're kind of just going to slow down. I do see a short opportunity building here. I do want to only take one shot at it. Delta is pushing up. Price is pushing up. There's not a divergence, but there is a volume divergence. That is another thing I look at. Point of control is down at 30. You could, if you want to get at risk, if you want to get in early before a break of this, I still want to see that liquidity sweep and maybe a delta divergence before I take a crack at the trend line. Longs are building, 51%. So streaming trading is I find it a little difficult as far as entertaining wise, because I'm not here looking to just hammer buttons. I do like to talk out everything, so I think that's a value of having the stream going. It does make you want to take a trade, but also at the same time it keeps you in check. This is like my running journal, so just talking out trades and seeing how things play out keep me accountable, keep me into what I want to do instead of just doing things because I need to get in a trade or whatnot. So if you don't stream or anything like that, if you just record your screen and talk out certain things that you're doing, it helps. I think it really does. I'm gonna keep saying it just because it's there. Hit that Tradecaster link, make an account, subscribe to my little channel because on the 22nd I'm gonna go live over there. This whole week, next week, we are gonna be getting everything ready, prepared for the launch on the 22nd. Sitting on my hands. Not losing money is making money. S&P's long, shorts. Shorts are still getting heavier. I don't like that. That's amazing. Just this steady buying pressure here. That first 30 minutes didn't look back. I'll be on for 15 more minutes on the stream. I will keep everybody posted. I'm going to try and do this every morning. I would like to get on at 8:15, just do a quick little brief on what I'm looking at as far as the NASDAQ, S&Ps, any news, anything like that. Today I got on slightly later. Okay, so there's a push up a little bit. More action on this candle a little bit than the other one, right? This one was just lazy. This one pushed the high of the value area, and the NASDAQ looking a little bit long, just still 51% long at 644. So they're still in the money. I don't think we got that yet. I think you need a failure here, and then you can have a breakdown of the trend line, and then you can risk to the high of the day. That's my thought on it. If I want to enter, let's see if I can get one in before I get off the stream. Normally I'd be on until at least 11 as far as streaming, but I have a meeting at work at 11, so I gotta get out of here. Man, this is still pushing up like a good delta. There it is. It could be a breakout, even momentum trade here, because now the S&Ps have cracked that high, and now they're pushing up to the upside. 79% long there, though. Was that NASDAQ? No. There's that push up to the high. 60-something% long. 56% long. 60%. Still not a high enough percentage. And this wasn't a manipulation candle. It still isn't, I should say. That's a strong breakout. The volume is pushing higher. There are buyers here. We looked below value area high and we're pushing up. If you fail this and break back down below 60, this move gets canceled out. So then you got to look to see if it'll hold this. If it doesn't hold this, then you could possibly look to catch a short down, only risking to the previous high, $200, $150. I don't like to risk to the high of this manipulation because I want to be convinced that this level has failed. That's the high of my purple zone, right? There. So that's where you have it. That would have been a nice little long from the bottom of the purple up to the top. See, that was a strong candle, decent volume, but not anything like these deltas, right? Should tell you that the buyers are there, but they're not as strong as they were before. I don't like that the tilt is leaning short. I have 10 minutes. Any trade I'm going to take is not going to be very long anyway. So a few minutes in and out. If we get a failure of 60, need to hold below it. A nice close below it would be nice. And then you want to crack this trend line. Obviously, you had some manipulation here on the wicks. This one is just, realistically, this is a zone of a trend line. It's not like a perfect art. Trend lines are not a perfect art. But they do work. As far as certain things, right? We're looking at this not as a trend line, but as a divergence of price versus volume versus delta and liquidity zones, right? So there's just like a lot of confluence. Yes, I drew a line on here. Is that the end all be all? No. But once this breaks, that means the other parts have broken. No. So there you have it. Really just like a weak breakout at the high of that level there. Think you might get one more push up at 92, that level. 92. That's the line in the sand. If we would, that was the previous swing high. Okay, so we're gonna fail that 60. Or are we? Still not getting any sort of big flush type candles. Deltas. And we didn't break down below 60. If you break down below it and you just wick it and then you run up, then that's a different story right there. It's like a little bit of a wick. But if you break down and you hold with some gusto and the candle actually closes down here and it's strong, then you can get that breakdown followed through, I think. This is probably right about the time where you get that breakdown. Delta starting to lean down. Volume starting to tick a little bit up, but like I said, it never really held below. This is the battleground right here. That's 660. Five minutes until I am unable to stay on the charts any longer. A short Monday. Didn't take any trades. I'm still looking, really trying to do my best. Today's my Friday, so Tuesday and Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going back to school. So when everything is back to a normal routine, I'm looking to be on here at 8:15. I might be on tomorrow at 8:30, but I'm going to be on all week streaming. Hopefully, if I catch an early trade, maybe I'll be done early, but I'll talk through until 10 or 11 o'clock. If I haven't got anything like today, I'll be on until 11, 12 maybe on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I may trade the close on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because they are my off days. But every day, Monday through Friday, at least 8 a.m. till 10 or 11, 12, depending on the day. So really, it's a day-to-day basis based on news. But I'm going to be here putting in the hours. There is my no more newer highs. If we can crack down below 60s, 58s. I think I could get a good short in here before we leave. Only risking above this high value area. So markets love 666s as well. Market players are funny. They like funny numbers. They like 666. They like 669s. They like 420s. Just how they are. So we'll see what happens here with this right now at the 666s. That's a new noise. Good morning, Charting Queen. Good morning. All right, looking here, the 60 to fail. This is the point where I'm probably going to look to get involved. I want to see if this will hold though. If it's just going to push down quick and then come back up, I'm not looking to get manipulated. All right, so the 60's not holding, so I'm going to look to see if I can get a breakdown here before I leave. Like I said, today is a short day. I am looking for a short. I tend to fade highs. I would like to get a short from here. I'm not looking for a huge move. But like I said, I need to see this hold below here at the 60. The 60 is the battleground. I would like to see one more, maybe wick up above 60. Stop out some of these people that are trying to get short right here. If they get above, like I said, the 666s here, stop some people out and then come back down below, then I can get that short. But unfortunately, like I said, I gotta go to work today early, so I only have a couple more minutes before I gotta get out. But tune in every day. Talk me through everything. So Phil. Might not get that next move up here, so I think I'm just gonna go with the one guy. I'm gonna sell it here, give you my stop above the 60s, and we'll see what happens. Not looking for too much because, like I said, I gotta get out of here. I want this breakdown to happen kind of quick. I am short as well. And here's the push down that we were looking to get. I'm gonna be kind of quick with this. I'm gonna trail it out. I'm not risking too much on this trade. Hopefully we can get the full push to happen now. It did wait till the very last minute to give me my trade, but it's getting there. I want to be patient. I want to hold it. I want to see if this will get my breakdown. Nope, there's that wick above. And then now we get the manipulation. So here's the candles, exactly 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. usually gets a bit of movement. If I can get the flush here, it'd be nice. Waiting for it, waiting for it, waiting for it. There's a push. I'm going to move my stop to just above this manipulation at 61, because if I get back above 60, then I'm wrong. I may move back to break even shortly. Yeah. I don't like that. That's pushing. Come on. Give me that volume down. Delta divergence. I'm on a 1 minute. I trade actively on the 1 minute, but I watch the 30, the 15s, and the 5s for levels and volume for breakdowns. So I'm only risking $100 here on this. If I do get the full breakdown, then the risk to reward here is pretty good, right? It's a cheap trade for me as far as levels. I don't tend to use moving averages as much. I do for some confluence, but I'm more so volume, delta, volume profile. This is definitely holding though, like you said. I think the line in the sand is 660. It just seems to be a good level for people to take profits. There was a nice little divergence there with volume and with price, so we were looking to just catch a little bit of it. It's not breaking down quick enough for me, to be honest. So I'm gonna probably, if we could break down below the lows here, I'm gonna move my stop to break even, and then I'm gonna let it go. Here we go. Down below. Now I'm gonna let it go. If it stops me out, I'm cool with it because I have to leave. But realistically, with that crack of the low, we're gonna hope to push down further, which is not gonna. It's gonna just stop me out. So I'm stopped out flat for a sole grand total of $10. Big $10. I didn't like how it didn't want to push down. I kind of forced it because I have to go to work. But reasonably, that was a good idea for an entry. You could probably still be holding if you just want to risk the quick $100. Above the 660 level is that line, like I said. Hold it. Be strong with it. I would love to stay longer. I love to trade this time of the day. I like to trade 10 to 11. Yeah, I think it's going to break it down and flush down. And it's good if you held it. Like I said, if I didn't have to go to work, I would like to have been a little more sturdy in my stop location. It's cool seeing somebody on TradeCaster interacting. Feels that court RDO, nice. I think reasonably, and like I said, it shows that here, like I have a trend line, I'm playing the trend line break, but I really am not playing a trend line break. It's just one of my confluences, right? So if I just walk through 5 minutes and then I got to cut out, what I was looking at all day, right? I'm looking at the opening range. This is opening range. This is the high of the overnight. We still break out. A lot of times I don't trust this early, especially on a Monday, and we just kept grinding higher. We'd stop out. Delta was just constantly moving up. We're getting good breakouts. Got price here. Once we got to my key level, I'm not playing a breakout here, right? I'm not a momentum person. I'm looking to fade and then rotate to the opposite end. But none of these entries were able to tell me, hey, we're looking to get short here, right? No sellers are coming in. Any sellers that are coming in are getting bid back up and stopped out, right? So we have high volume breakouts here, volume. We got good volume nodes. As we're moving up, though, we're losing that volume. Every time we get a breakout, the volume is lower. The volume is lower. The volume is lower. This breakout here came on lower volume. So because it keeps coming on that lower volume, like I said, over here, I'm looking at a manipulation candle. Even though this had a wick, it wasn't a manipulation candle, but it did tell me something that there was some sellers in this zone here, right? So the next breakout we get, right, lower volume again, and now we're starting to get that roll back down with a flattened out delta, right? Because there's no new buyers, no new sellers, nobody's doing very much here. So the reason I took this quick idea of a short was the battleground at 600. I like to see that we didn't really kind of push back up again. And realistically, this now second retouch of this, what you call a trend line, could possibly get us a better entry into full blown short. So I'll check up later on my phone while I'm at work and just kind of run through it and see if I can see anything, if it does play out. But like I said, every day I'm going to be here 8:30 Central Time. I know I am a native New Yorker, so we do Eastern Time, also 9:30. I'll be on YouTube and on TradeCaster here. So I'm going to try and build the TradeCaster base. January 22nd, all new traders, all new streamers, tradecaster.com. Click the link in the YouTube, hit up there. Yeah, I can see how you got out there because 660, like I said, 660 is the level. If it's going to break out, it's going to break out through there and then rip the highs. So you really just limit your risk at 660 because you're really not going to get that follow through to the downside. This could have been, like I said, a short trap, right? Get people involved long, stop them out, get some shorts involved, and then run the highs again. I mean, that's really what today seems to be. So for me to make $5.74, I call that a big winning day, because on days like this, normally I get chopped up, right? I try to short, and then I'll try and go long, and then this is where I'll try to go long and get stopped out. So that's it. All right. I appreciate your love, and I gotta go to work, so I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.